I gazed at my phone display, scanning the text for what felt like the fourth time. The letters remained stubbornly the same, refusing to shift into anything kinder. Emily, it's probably best if you skip Olivia's ceremony. You might spoil the vibe. We need it all flawless for her moment. From Mom. My very own parent had composed that and pressed send without hesitation. I placed the device on my workstation at the Ocean Studies lab where I spent my days, my fingers shaking a bit. Through the glass pane in my workspace, the Boston Harbor extended out in a dull, endless haze, echoing my inner turmoil precisely. At 29, I was still the letdown. The child who picked examining underwater habitats over a legal career. The one in functional attire rather than high in fashion. The sibling who didn't match the polished facade my relatives preferred to display. Olivia's big event was set for 5 weeks away. My junior by 2 years. She had snagged the exact type of partner our folks idealized. Alexander, a high-level investment banker with a prime suite and inherited wealth. Their commitment was revealed at the elite golf resort. The affair would unfold at an upscale orchard near Hartford, hosting 250 attendees with a cost that dwarfed my yearly earnings like spare change, and I was deliberately excluded. I grabbed my phone once more and browsed the kin chat I'd been booted from 3 days prior. I only learned of it via my cousin Hannah, who mistakenly forwarded a capture while griping about her attendant outfit. The thread brimmed with eager coordination, bouquet selections, food trials, and not a single reference to me. My workspace entrance swung open. Liam entered with 2 steaming mugs, his wavy brown locks moist from the drizzle beyond. He glanced at my expression and positioned both drinks down gently. "What's going on?" he inquired. Liam operated in the sea dynamics section on the adjacent level. We'd been together for 9 months, but my kin remained unaware of him. Why bother? They seldom inquired about my existence. I passed him the device. He perused the note, his features hardening. "Your mom really sent this. Exactly as is. Emily, this is..." He trailed off, evidently hunting for a term that wouldn't sting too much. Liam had been raised in Edinburgh, relocated to America for advanced studies, and occasionally grappled with the offhand harshness families here could inflict. "It's standard," I completed for him. "This is their usual approach toward me." He settled into the seat opposite my table. "Share it with me." And so I did. I recounted maturing as the offspring who never quite hit the mark, how Olivia had been anointed the star from infancy. More attractive, more engaging, superior at the societal maneuvers our parents prized, how I'd been pitted against her constantly and deemed insufficient. "You're overly intense, Emily," Mom would remark. "Why not emulate your sibling more?" I described the occasion when I triumphed in a statewide innovation contest at 15, and my folks skipped the honors event for Olivia's theater performance. How they overlooked my university commencement while aiding Olivia with her initial condo setup. How my study on aquatic habitat restoration appeared in a prominent periodical, and Dad muttered, "That's pleasant, dear," before pivoting back to Olivia's advancement at the advertising agency. "All my accomplishments have been ghosts to them," I murmured softly. Yet Olivia clears her throat, and they organize a festival. Liam extended his arm over the surface and clasped my palm. "You realize this reflects entirely on them and zilch on you, correct?" I yearned to trust him, but nearly 3 decades of being diminished had etched profound scars into my self-esteem. "The harshest aspect," I went on, "is I don't even resent Olivia. She's never been intentionally mean. She simply floats in this realm where opportunities flow effortlessly, and she can't grasp why I can't perpetually cheer for her." "Will you reply to your mom?" I the text anew. A fragment of me craved to fire back something sharp, something to let her taste a sliver of the pain she'd inflicted. But I knew it wouldn't register. She'd label me as hypersensitive, the troublesome kid centering everything on herself. "No," I decided at last, "I'm not responding." Liam observed me intently. "What's brewing in your mind?" I pondered how I'd devoted my entire life chasing my kin's endorsement. How I'd internalized every snub, every brush off, every instance of being ignored. How I'd persuaded myself that with sufficient effort and success they'd eventually notice me, but they wouldn't. That text clarified it utterly. "I'm considering," I articulated gradually, "that I'm finished obsessing over their opinions." Liam grinned, though a wary glint lingered in his gaze. "Should I fret about that expression you're wearing?" "What expression?" "The one that emerges just prior to you cracking a tough study puzzle. The one signaling you've ceased tolerating the status quo and begun scheming alterations." I chuckled in spite of myself. He understood me profoundly. My device vibrated with a fresh note. "This from Olivia. Mom mentioned she barred you. Sorry, Em, but truthfully, it could be optimal. The occasion will be ultra-refined and elegant, and you know you tend to feel out of place at such gatherings. I don't wish for any hitches on my grand occasion." I displayed it to Liam. His demeanor shadowed. "That's more severe than your mom's," he observed. He was spot on. Mom's unkindness stemmed from lifelong bias and superficial priorities, but Olivia's nonchalant rejection, cloaked in funny empathy, sliced deeper as it affirmed my long-standing suspicions. Even my sibling viewed me as a liability. That night I lounged in Liam's flat gazing over the Charles River, observing vessels glide across the shadowy expanse. He prepared supper, a dish infused with herbs and spices that wafted enticingly. His place contrasted sharply with the pristine rigidity of my parents' residence. It exuded comfort, vitality, stacked with volumes, greenery, and snapshots from his journeys. "Describe your kin to me," I blurted abruptly. He glanced up from the range, taken aback. "You already know them. Recount it once more." He dried his palms on a cloth and joined me on the sofa. "All right, there's my mum, who still rings every Tuesday wondering if I'm nourishing myself well. My dad, who forwards images of every bird he spots in the garden. My two brothers who never allow me to overlook I'm the youngest despite being 32. And they all attended your degree conferral. Everyone traveled from Scotland, even with the steep expense." Mum wept throughout the proceedings. He beamed, recalling it. "They lingered for 10 days, nearly drove me bonkers, and I cherished each second." I leaned my head against his arm. "That seems wonderful." "It is." He encircled me with his limb. "And you merit that as well, Emily. You merit folks who appear for you." We dined as the urban glows twinkled over the stream. Liam shared his recent endeavor on tidal patterns, and I briefed him on my group's advancements in charting kelp forest declines along the Atlantic. This was what my kin never comprehended: my fervor for my vocation, the significance of aiding in sea preservation, how the lab felt more familial than the dwelling of my upbringing. As we tidied later, Liam posed, "Have you pondered what I suggested last week?" I halted, a plate midway to the rack. "Liam, the circumstances are tricky," he interjected swiftly. "With your kin's drama," but I was sincere. "I desire to share my existence with you, Emily." He'd asked for my hand 3 weeks earlier, right in this cooking area. No grandeur, merely him gripping my hands, expressing his affection and craving eternity together. I'd requested space to reflect, and he'd been understanding. But now, with Olivia's event looming and my kin's dismissal raw, a transformation occurred within me. "Yes," I uttered. He stiffened. Yes, I'll wed you." The plate tumbled back into the basin with a clang. He traversed the space in 3 steps and enveloped me, hoisting me up. When he lowered me, he beamed like a youngster at dawn. "You're certain? You're accepting?" "I'm accepting." He embraced me, and for the initial time in weeks, the constricted ache in my core eased marginally. This individual perceived me. He esteemed my intellect, my zeal, my commitment to my pursuits. He didn't require me to transform. "We ought to toast," he suggested, then wavered. "Hold on, do you wish to inform your kin?" I molded for roughly 4 seconds. "No, they've clarified I'm not included in Olivia's festivity. I don't require their participation in ours. What about your companions?" I grinned leisurely. "That's separate. And truthfully, I've got a notion." In the ensuing days, I immersed myself in organizing. Not an extravaganza like Olivia's. I lacked interest in ostentatious orchard rituals and rigid arrangements, but something true, mirroring who Liam and I truly were. I commenced by phoning Hannah, my cousin. She was the sole relative I truly enjoyed, likely because she'd also been eclipsed somewhat by Olivia's radiance in our youth. "You're tying the knot," she exclaimed over the line. "Emily, that's fantastic. When?" 7 weeks hence. Shortly following Olivia's, a silence ensued. "Your mom is clueless, huh?" "Indeed." "Oh, this is tantalizing. Spill the details." I narrated about Liam, the request, my visions for an intimate, purposeful ritual. Hannah had encountered Liam once at a diner and proclaimed him utterly ideal for you, which was precisely the encouragement I craved. "Who else is aware?" she queried. "Only you thus far. But I'm devising something unconventional." "Sounds promising." I devoted the subsequent days contacting individuals who genuinely counted in my world. My study crew from the Ocean Lab, pals from postgraduate days, associates I'd partnered with on preservation initiatives, various experts I revered who'd evolved into guides through the years. Then I placed a call that altered all. Dr. Eleanor Hayes was a renowned sea expert, an idol since my adolescent days, devouring her pioneering articles on coastal erosion. She'd lectured at a symposium in Boston 18 months back, and I'd mustered bravery to approach her post-talk. We'd maintained contact, sporadically messaging on study updates. "Emily," she responded cordially. "What a delightful call." "Dr. Hayes, I have an odd request. I'm curious." I explained the nuptials, desiring to craft something honoring our vocation and the network we'd formed, hoping she'd consider joining. "I'd be thrilled," she affirmed promptly. "But I have an enhanced suggestion. Allow me to reach out to some contacts." "Contacts," she chuckled. "Rely on me, dear. If we're proceeding, let's execute it correctly." I was puzzled by her intent, but her tone sparked anticipation in my pulse. Olivia's ceremony commanded every dialogue for the coming month. My device hummed incessantly with intel I wasn't meant to receive. Hannah persistently relayed captures from the kin thread, part allegiance to me, part because she deemed the absurdity amusing. Your mom dedicated 4 sections to tablecloth hues, one dispatch noted. Olivia's fretting over the baker proposing vanilla instead of almond, another stated. I observed this spectacle of idealism from afar, sensing a peculiar disconnection. Months prior, Exclusion would have crushed me. Now, amid my own arrangements, I primarily experienced solace at evading hours of feigned sophistication. My preparations advanced discreetly. Dr. Hayes had indeed connected, and the replies astounded. 4 additional eminent sea experts verified attendance. A nature film creator who'd spotlighted my kelp restoration efforts expressed eagerness to join. A wildlife lensman I teamed with on a venture in the Gulf sent his eager confirmation. Emily, Liam remarked one night perusing the invitee roster. Do you comprehend who these folks are? Researchers and allies. Some of the foremost guardians of aquatic environments globally. There are individuals here with encyclopedia entries. I shrugged, yet inwardly a cozy glow expanded in my breast. These were souls who esteemed my endeavors, who regarded my contributions as vital, who desired to rejoice with me. The sight itself materialized almost enchantingly. A co-worker at the lab possessed kinland on Cape Cod, a scenic shore strip overlooking the bay. Unpretentious, but sincere and poignant. We'd conduct the ride at dusk directly on the grains. So fitting for you, Hannah commented, viewing images. Your mom would detest it utterly. That's not my motive, I realize, but it's a sweet perk. Liam's kin intended to journey from Scotland. His mum phoned me personally, embracing me into their fold with such authentic fervor that I teared up post-call. The disparity between her hearty welcome and my kin's rebuff couldn't be starker. 3 weeks pre-Olivia's affair, I bumped into my dad at a bistro in the city center. He appeared startled, as though I were a distant associate he'd overlooked rather than his offspring. Emily, how's life? All right, Dad. Occupied with event prep, your sibling's major day approaches, so I've heard. An uneasy gap lingered. I awaited if he'd reference the exclusion. Express remorse, recognize the unkindness somehow. He didn't. Well, he concluded I must depart. Nice encountering you. He exited sans querying my occupation, my routine, anything. I observed him depart and sensed only a faint resolution. This defined him, them, and I was at last embracing it. Olivia's ceremony transpired on a splendid May Friday. I passed the hours at the shore on Cape Cod with Liam, dipping in the chilly tides and finalizing our own specifics. My device pinched sporadically with shots from Hannah, the orchard adorned in flowing ivory blooms. Olivia in her ornate robe, visitors arriving in upscale garb. It appears lovely, Liam noted, peering at one image. It does, I concurred. And it did. Olivia radiated joy, the ambience was refined, all seemed impeccable. I harbored no resentment, which astonished me. During my own scheming, I'd ceased fixating on hers. That night, Hannah rang. Your mom wondered your whereabouts today. What'd you say? Nada. Just that I hadn't spotted you, but Emily, she seemed baffled you didn't appear regardless, despite the ban. Like she anticipated you'd beg for a rear spot, typical. The entire thing was predictable. Numerous tributes to Olivia's flawlessness, Alexandre's triumphs, your parents' pride. 0 nods to you. Naturally. Your mom raved about this being her fantasy event, how all was spotless. Hannah halted. I'm truly relieved you abstained. You'd have loathed it. I was relieved too, for I was occupied constructing something tangible, significant to me. While Olivia had her staged idealism, I'd compiled an invitee list of souls who truly knew me, who prized me as is. 4 days post Olivia's, Dr. Hayes contacted me. Emily, I've been approached by an intriguing party, a director from a digital channel producing nature segments. They're crafting a lineup on sea guardianship actions, and they aim to highlight your kelp forest inquiries. My pulse leaped. For real. Quite. They admired your article from last season, believing your efforts would yield engaging material. They seek to question you, record your field activities. She paused. They noted wanting personal glimpses too. They inquired about any impending key moments in your life. I grinned gradually. There could be one. I suspected. I might have noted your upcoming union, Dr. Hayes. They wish to include it, Emily, a right uniting sea guardians, revealing the human facet of experts preserving our world. They deem it potent narrative. I contemplated my modest shore union, the roster brimming with exceptional souls, the authentic festivity we'd envisioned. And I reflected on my kin who deemed me a shame, who'd barred me from Olivia's ideal day. Informed them affirmative, I stated. Splendid. I'll arrange it. And Emily, their online reach is vast, hordes of followers. Their features often explode in popularity. Post-call, I remained motionless, absorbing the development. Liam discovered me on the settee staring blankly. What's amiss? Nothing amiss, I replied measuredly. Something's profoundly right. The filming group reached Cape Cod 4 days pre-ceremony. They were compact, merely 6 with gear and lenses, headed by a lady named Mia with gentle gaze and efficient motion. We won't turn this into a show, she reassured in our initial meet. We aim for genuineness. The blend of private pledge and career devotion, affection and protection merged. Liam and I toured then the locale. The shore gleamed amber in the midday rays, the waves serene and mirroring the heavens. Basic cream seats in a half ring toward the sea. No lavish adornments, solely the innate splendor of the coast. This is ideal, Maya remarked, composing frames mentally. Share about your devices. I provided the roster. She scanned, brows ascending progressively. Dr. Eleanor Hayes, Professor Robert Klein, Dr. Naomi Ellis. She gazed up. Emily, this is basically the elite of aquatic preservation. They're my pals and advisors. They're icons. She beamed. This will be astounding material. Our viewers will adore it. A budding expert wedding her soulmate, encircled by the team safeguarding our seas. The sort of uplifting tale we require. In the following days, they shot background clips of the Cape, questioned early arrivals on sea safeguarding, and recorded Liam and me strolling the shore debating our inquiries. It felt organic, uncontrived. They chronicled our lives, not orchestrating an act. Liam's kin landed from Scotland 3 days pre-write. His mum engulfed me in an embrace instantly, declaring me more charming than snapshots. His dad clasped my hand warmly. His 2 brothers promptly included me as kin. At last, another lady to even the scales, the elder brother, Duncan, quipped, "We've been swamped by sisters-in-law too long." That dusk, we convened for supper at a nearby eatery. The filming team captured snippets. The chuckles, tales, Liam's kin's cozy welcome. His mum shared mortifying childhood anecdotes of Liam. His dad toasted the remarkable woman who miraculously consented to wed our lad. I stepped to the lavatory momentarily and checked my device. 4 unanswered rings from Mom, eyed the alerts, debating voicemail playback. Intrigue prevailed. "Emily, your dad and I caught wind your wedding this weekend." Clearly false, as you'd notify us of such magnitude, but Hannah hinted and now I'm worried. Return my call now. The next was Terza. "Emily, this is absurd. If you're truly organizing a union, inform your kin. We deserve awareness." Frankly, after expending a fortune on Olivia's exquisite affair, minimal courtesy is advance notice. The third elicited a grin. I chatted Hannah again. She confirms your wedding Saturday on sand. "Emily, what's your reasoning? Shore union?" So casual, and evidently inviting outsiders over kin. Unacceptable, ring me. I erased all and rejoined the table where Liam's mum displayed images of their Scottish abode. Hannah phoned later. "Your mom's unraveling. She's contacting all for your union intel." I received her voicemails, planning to respond. "No, wise. She doesn't merit inclusion." Hannah faltered. Something to share. Olivia knows too about the union and film crew. How a team member posted vaguely online about a forthcoming segment on Sea Guardians. Olivia tracks every nuptial spot in New England, obsessed with critiquing others' events. She connected dots. Her reaction, livid, thinks you're overshadowing her, demanded why a media union post hers. I called her paranoid, but she's sure you're sabotaging. I chuckled at the ridiculousness. Not everything revolves around her. Convince her your whole ken's agitated, claiming you're hurtful, thunder-stealing, self-centered, projecting, totally. But they might catcrash. I pondered. Permit it. Not listed, but if they appear and embarrass amid top experts, their call. You're formidable when serene. I'm wary of their wounds, Hannah. Their actions define them, not me. The day prior, Dr. Hayes arrived with peers. From the shore dwelling, I viewed esteemed researchers exit vehicles, greeting like long-standing comrades. These souls had issued revolutionary findings, counseled nations on eco-policies, devoted existences to comprehending and shielding seas. Here for my union. Hayes located me on the veranda. "Emily, I fetched someone unique." She presented Dr. Margaret Cole, a sea scholar whose coastal erosion labor reshaped laws in nations. In her 60s with grey tresses and keen, wise eyes. "I've perused your Celtic line studies." Cole stated, shaking my hand. "Solid efforts." Posing vital queries. "Thanks," I stammered. "Coming from you, that's immense. Eleanor mentioned your kin undervalues your labor." I blinked at the bluntness. "Accurate, then they're misguided." She grinned. "But you've forged your kin here. Survey around. These souls respect you. Prize your field inputs. That's superior to blood ties blind to your value." Tears welled. "Thanks." That dusk, the team interviewed guests on sea guardianship's import. I observed, doctored. Hayes passionately discussed emerging researchers, citing my work as innovative exemplar. Professor Klein addressed elevating women in sea studies, portraying me as early impact maker. Maya drew me aside. "Emily, grasp this. This material reaches millions. Our channel's massive. This narrative, the union, your efforts, this expert circle resonates deeply. Ready for such spotlight?" I recalled my kin's fixation on facades and rank, how they'd barred me from Olivia's flawless day as embarrassment. "Yes," I affirmed. Prepared. Saturday morn broke bright and fair. I awoke in the shore dwelling to waves and gulls, Hannah dozing nearby. She'd arrived late prior, appointing herself honor attendant, wanted or not. Monumental day, she said, awakening. Emotions, positive. Truly positive. No jitters wedding Liam, none. Kin potentially disrupting. Slightly she rose. If they appear, I'll manage. Focus on your moment. The team arrived early for prep footage. They filmed me in a plain ivory gown. Unfussy, just me. Comfy, graceful, shore-suited. Hannah assisted hair, loose curls. You radiate, she said. Crucially joyful. Invitees arrived circa 2 p.m. From the pane, I saw cars deposit global researchers. The crew navigated, capturing eco-chats, climate dialogues, funding needs. With Dad, Olivia, Alexander. They alighted, Mom's frown evident, eyeing the relaxed shore. They came, Hannah noted too. Naturally. Couldn't tolerate missing. Mia knocked. Emily, unlisted arrivals claiming kin they are. Allow stay, I mulled. Part craved ejection, mirroring my bar, but superior notion permit. Rear seating Mia, ensure lenses catch reactions. She grinned slyly. Admire your thinking. Right timed 4 p.m. for amber glow pre-dusk. I waited in dwelling as Liam positioned seaside through glass. Over 120 souls, many from talks, ridings, sea impacts. Rear uneasy, my kin sat. Dr. Hayes appeared, prepared, escorting you if allowed. Not your dad, but honored to substitute. Dad yards away, yet absent lifelong. Dr. Hayes more guide than he, I cherish, I said. We strolled sandy path amid seats. Liam awaited, eyes emotive, his kin beam front, colleagues, pals smiled. Mom's visage rear cycled shock, bewilderment amid notables. Right led by retired Seaprof knowing us from studies. He spoke seas, tides uniting. Partner grasping, zeal vital. We crafted vows. My turn, I gazed Liam, certain. I vow back your inquiries, even global voyages, I said. Celebrate breakthroughs, aid frustrations. Be your ally in seas we adore. Build life on our values, not others. He dried eyes. Speaking Scottish lilt deepened emotively. I vow always see you, value mind, heart equal. Stand as you alter world via research. Remind worth when forgotten. Love as is, no change. We swapped plain gold bands. Kissed as sun dipped, sky gold orange. Guests cheered, not formal, but heartfelt joy. Reception seaside, no structured meal seats, seafood grill, tables for mingling. Crew captured Nobel chats with students, filmmakers, aides. I saw Mom near table, puzzling guests. She halted men on tied probes. How no bride, I heard. Emily partnered on Kelp Atlantic paper, sharp intellect, ecosystem work foundational. Hand extended. Professor Robert Klein, Oxford faculty. Mom paled. She shifted to Dr. Hayes' group. Emily top promising, I've met decades, Dr. Hayes said. Marine Guard approach blends method, innovation. Needed type. Olivia nearby poised, fracturing amid dwarfs her circle. Lady neared, wildlife lensman, self-intro. Scientist too. Polite no. Advertising, Olivia rigid. Oh, lovely. Emily's vital featured her last year. Kelp photo stunning, Alexander drew Olivia urgent whisper. Realizing gradually, not petty shore union by odd kin. Gathering of field significance. Hannah at elbow. Mom queried all these. Told Julia's pals colleagues, near faint. Good. Liam found as dusk fell. Bonfire lit, joyful, immensely. Even kin here, I glanced awkward parents amid real bonds. Especially kin here, finally witnessing dismissed. Night progressed, toast tales. Dr. Hayes on Sea Guard future, young leads. Professor Klein on science, women support. Lime's mom funny first, Liam mentioned brilliant expert met. Maya neared Mike. Emily words for film. I took Aware Beyond Beach, millions eventual view. Thanks all attending, I started. For unaware, most here sea biologists, oceanographers, guards. Lives devoted seas understand, protect. Mom's face fire-lit, grasping guest caliber dismissed. Grew feeling unseen, I continued work insignificant. Sea passion, lesser pursuits. Long believed, thought me issue. Liam squeezed, but found community. Valued queries over looks. Success by input, not status, worth in larger dedication, I surveyed. Taught family beyond blood. Who appears, celebrates wins, sees true you. Applause. Returned Mike Mia Terry. Dad neared post. Emily, unaware such notables. Why? Never asked work, he winced. Unfair. Is Dad last research query? Interest shown, silent. Mom next, composure breaking. Emily known the scale with what cared suddenly. Sinworth. Don't dramatize. Always cared. Barred Olivia's ruin vibe. Embarrassment. Never said. Didn't need shown life. Voice steady, factual. No anger now. Mom. Don't. Don earning from decided unworthy. Olivia appeared. Alexander trail. Emily impressive, but post my union. Spiteful. Stared sister. Olivia engaged pre-you. Untold. Planned reflect Liam, me values. Not you. Y crew, notable spectacle, not my life, friends, build community, gestured beach, experts, bonfire laugh, sorry threatens meaningful, not my solve. Alexander Olivia means calculated proving, not proving you quiet. No need validation. Any. Hannah timely family, mom protested, watch, I said, bared me Olivia's unfit image. Now barred mine unfit my family. Fair they departed, car into dark, taillights fade, relief only, party night long. Liam's brothers taught Scottish tunes, debate coastal policy, heated fun. Crew captured, last passions, warmth work, each love. Midnightish, Liam I water edge, crowd away. Moon bright, calm, reflect. Regrets, none. Wedding you, best ever. He close. Family stand. Satisfying watch. Laughed, not planned statement. No, makes perfect. Built real, highlighted shallow theirs. Stood waves listen, friends night celebrate. Segment aired 5 weeks post. Work device exploded alerts. Channel released more hours viral. Views millions climbed. Comments flooded. Most touching union scene. Real world changers. Bride genius family unaware. Crying found true family. Outlet story grab it. Headline is C. Expert union unites guard heroes. Union inspiring scientists. True family built. Dive guest list ID each expert contributions. Article shares hundreds thousands. My inquiries academic mainly. Sudden mainstream. Lab site crash traffic. Major Nets interview request. Dr. Hayes called chuckling. Emily. More Seaguard awareness one day than years most. Outlets want research talk. Just wed, I said. Processing did. Showed million scientists look value fight. Extraordinary. Hannah messages seen in social. No. Curiosity looked. Olivia posted long proud sister. Always knew great old pics. Comments harsh. Just wed. Why you? Sister uninvited yours lol. Fake support cringe. Mom shared segment. Caption blessed accomplished daughters. Comments worse. Segment notes on supportive family. Show profame. Sad. Admit mess. Not credit. Attention lingered. Intensified weeks. Segment top viewed channel. Outlets featured union. Seaguard. Experts protect ecosystems. TED invite. 4 publishers book outreach. Lab huge donation might help. Donor inspired segment. Inbox young women see biology. Inspired. Teachers showed classes. Eco groups speak invites. Kin silent. No calls. Messages. Desperate social tie my visibility. Each skepticism, criticism more. 2 months post wed mom called. Nearly ignored curiosity answered Emily. Voice tense. Talk needed. Do, please, coffee meet. Considered refuse, curious want, nothing fear. Met Harbor Cafe. Arrived smaller, confidence shrunk. Latte ordered, sat opposite, I avoid. Calls coming finally. Friends, resort dad's firm colleagues. About segment, treatment. Napkin twisted, compilation video made. Parts unseen, feeling family no support. Shared everywhere, recognize us, no parents. Bothers. Emily, people terrible say. Toxic call, emotional abuse. Dad's coworkers why absent daughter wed. Coffee sip, wait. Olivia firm released. Image issues, values misaligned. Applying interviews bad once ID. Wed video uncomfortable amid accomplished meme. Unfortunate neutral that all. Voice rose. Sister jobless Emily. Ostracized circle, sit unaffected. Doesn't? Affects you. Choices, consequences. Mistakes made. Admit, deserve public shame, cup down careful. Mom barred Olivia's spole, embarrassment. Life made feel worthless, no fit success narrow. Never meant yes, meant every, never expected care. Thought quiet, invisible. Accept attention scraps. Forward lean, but not did you. No segment exposed. Lived, celebrated union value people truth told. World response not me. You, not help. How? Statement wonderful parents lied. Pretend fine. Acknowledge public reconciled. Relationship work, but not. No reconcile, no real apologize. 30 years dismiss. Upset consequences. Face hardened. Crew become Emily. No honest. Difference. Stood sudden. Hope satisfied. Destroyed sister family rep. Wed quiet. Did. Else natural behavior visible result. Left wordless. Coffee finished alone. Vessels grey water. Why found peace felt. Weak post Olivia email. Unlike mom call seems sincere. Emily probably no hear me. No blame. Time think post job. Segment watch repeat. Really see. See family treat. Here invisible. Ashamed. Part. Benefited. No question fair. Told self fine. Different. But knew parents terrible, let because favorite starry. No, not enough. Can undo 30 complicit, but say needed. Read thrice reply. Part delete, leave unanswered like childhood needs. But never like them. Petty, vindictive, growth incapable. Olivia, appreciate. No relation forward, willing talk, not need, but reflect past then manage fallout. Lunch met weak. Look different, less Polish. More uncertain. Perfection armor cracked, therapy being post, order first angry, talk unfair, therapist push examine role family dynamic, and realized life perform, perfect daughter, successful golden. Never question role built you down. Direct look. Genuinely sorry, Emily, not segment bad look, but hurt participate. First real apology family ever. Means, no expect forgive immediate ever, but no trying better. Talk 2 hours. Really first lives. She pressure favored. Exhausting maintain image parents demand. I years goes family fancy people. Your union amazing quiet, not setting production people. Happy genuine connected. We're mind beautiful, not real. Performance 350 barely no. Alexander I 250K one day. No remember happy stressed perfect. Love him. Hesitate, don't know. Ideal love, successful spouse, right marriage. But him, barely real talk. Hand reach squeeze, change no. Build authentic like did. Months following, Olivia I real sister develop. Divorced Alexander, amicable both perform not partner realize. Job eco non-profit fraction salary genuine engaged work. Parents unchanged. Public statement friend blog, segment edited bad look, always dramatic attention seek, supported career despite difficult. Backfired spectacular, compare unedited, no manipulate evidence, criticism intensify. Pieces written parents no accept accountability, confront behavior evidence. Dad company quiet retire early, not official controversy, timing obvious. Mom friends resort no invite events. Tried groups recognize viral clips. Hannah updates occasional, half amuse, half horrify, refuse, admit wrong. Mom tried book club message. Had read emotional neglect article. Mom out discussion accountability turn. Career flourish. Segment visibility funding increase, see research. International conferences present invite. Kelp adapt work major policy marine protect proposal part. Liam my house water view by. His family visit twice year. Home warmth laughter fill. Hayes regular dinner lab colleagues. Life wanted build meaningful work genuine relations purpose beyond appear. Evening near year post wed research data review Liam enter office. Someone door you expression odd. Dad porch older remember. Small package hold. Emily hope talk consider door close curiosity when enter. Living sit Liam coffee bring tack disappear office. Dad around look shelves see texts full photos expeditions framed publications. Nice finally very you thanks package hand found garage clean. Thought one inside innovation contest trophy high school statewide win parents Olivia theater skip. Never acknowledge stared trophy memories flood proud win 15 imagine parents faces tell. Instead dismiss glance Olivia focus why now give ask dad shift uncomfortable. Thought lot segment since father kind was or not pause. Mom I caught vision success resorts corporate careers image maintain pushed vision you girls Olivia fit I know no instead celebrate own path remarkable achieve appreciate treat disappoint direct look wrong I wrong apologize trying not good this face rub watch segment alone mom bedpost saw Seth your eyes father miss graduation no ask research not wed voice crack slight made daughter invisible nothing say wait can't undo 30 bad father. No, not here forgive, ask, better feel. Just no, see now. See did fail, do, why now? Public attention, judge because. Partly admit. Criticism hurt, but watch you segment. Saw accomplished people, Liam family colleagues. Saw happy never before. Realize no, know you. Own daughter, no idea who really never ask. No, never coffee cup down, shake hands. No expect fix. No expect sudden relation want. But say need, actually apologize, not optics manage because better deserve I gave. Silence long. Trophy turn hands, remember 15-year me, desperate parents proud. Thanks say that final, no erase past but matter. Chance any? Try build now. Consider careful, maybe. But real dad, no perform. No pretend past, no happen. Want no me. Actual interest, life, work, care things. Like that willing, think it, not stand leave. Do or turn back. Worth what? Union, beautiful, look people, colleagues. Things said you work. Should say those life whole. Left post, Liam emerge office. Feel how? Honestly, on trophy look. Part believe genuine. Part think damage control. Maybe both. People complicate. Therapists say oh nothing. Choose no engage. Can want what? Thought. One open possibility change. No knave likelihood. One protect self. No bitter become. Seems wise. Months next. That genuine effort. Ask research. Actual listen answers. Read published papers. Technical no full understand. Met Liam proper. Ask work. Respect treat. Mom no effort. Remain convinced wrong segment. Unfair portray family. Olivia try bridge build us. But no interest reconcile. Refuse acknowledge reality. Never admit wrong. Olivia tell to invest self-image. No okay that, no need approval anymore. Segment continue impact levels unexpected. Letters adult narcissistic parents children. Thanks show possible fulfilling life build beyond toxic dynamic. Young scientists empower pursue passions despite family support lack. Women invisible felt inspire own communities find. Year half post-wed. Segment awards win several impact environmental aware science communicate. Channel whole series inspire it create. Feature other scientists important work. Invite consult see guard policy national level. Research team expand. Liam my family start own talk. Determine better models given. Mom never recover social fallout. Lost position charity boards. Members discomfort presence express. Friends circle dwindle handful no see segment or share unable self-reflect. Day spent bitter isolate. Convince world unfair treat. Never own role acknowledge circumstances. Dad eventual separate bedroom move. Independent life mostly. Cordial distance maintain while tentative relation me pursue. Olivia genuine career environmental work build. Marketing skills use promote guard causes. Sisters become should all along. Me stood research vessel Atlantic. Sunset watch waters help protect. Colleagues surround value contributions. Married man see complete. Realize best revenge no viral segment or public consequences family face. Best revenge life build fulfilling, meaningful, authentic mind that approval become irrelevant. No just prove them wrong. Prove self never need them right. To expand this narrative further. Let's delve into some additional moments from my childhood that shaped this path. I remember being 8 years old, sitting at the kitchen table with my science kit, mixing baking soda and vinegar to create a volcano eruption. The foam bubbled over, and I was ecstatic jumping up and down. Mom walked in, saw the mess, and sighed heavily. Emily, why can't you play with dolls like Olivia? She's making such pretty drawings right now. Clean this up before dinner. That was the first time I felt my curiosity was a burden rather than a gift. Dad didn't even look up from his newspaper. Fast forward to middle school, when I joined the environmental club, we organized a beach cleanup, and I came home with sandy shoes and a bag full of collected trash, proud of our haul. Olivia had won a beauty pageant that same day, and the house was filled with her trophy and photos. My efforts. Barely a nod. That's nice, but look at your sister. She's a real star. Those small dismissals accumulated like sediment on the ocean floor, building layers of doubt. In high school, besides the science fair win, there was the time I volunteered at a local aquarium. I spent weekends feeding fish and learning about marine life cycles. One evening, I tried sharing what I'd learned about jellyfish blooms with the family at dinner. Olivia interrupted with stories of her cheerleading practice, and everyone laughed along. I finished my meal in silence, vowing to keep my passions to myself. It wasn't until college that I started breaking free. My first marine biology class was a revelation. The professor's enthusiasm mirrored my own buried excitement. I stayed after class to ask questions, and she encouraged me to join a research trip. That summer, diving off the coast, seeing vibrant reefs up close, I felt alive in a way family dinners never made me feel. But even then, when I called home to share, Mom changed the subject to Olivia's sorority events. Liam helped me unpack these memories during our early dating months. We'd walk along the harbor after work, and I'd open up about another slight, like the time my paper got accepted to a conference, and I emailed the family the news. Olivia replied with congrats, but attached photos of her new promotion party, Mom and Dad. Radio silence until weeks later when they needed help with something trivial. Liam would listen, then share his own stories. How his family celebrated every milestone, no matter how small. His brother's first job got a family barbecue. His mom framed his school certificates. It highlighted the gap, but also showed me what was possible. As we planned our wedding, I added personal touches that reflected these experiences. For instance, we included a small exhibit of marine artifacts at the reception, shells from my first dive, photos of restored habitats. Guests could learn about ongoing projects, turning the event into a mini awareness session. Dr. Hayes loved it, suggesting we incorporate a group pledge to support ocean initiatives. That became a highlight, everyone signing a symbolic charter, which the film crew captured beautifully. Another new scene unfolded during the wedding prep. The night before the crew arrived, Liam and I sat on the beach house porch, watching stars emerge. He asked about my deepest fear for the day. Not the vows or weather, I said, but that somehow my family would make me doubt myself again. He held me close. Remember that research trip last year, when the data seemed off and you persisted until you found the sensor error? That's you, resilient, insightful. No one can take that. We talked late into the night, sharing dreams for our future home, maybe a lab of our own someday. It strengthened our bond, making the ceremony even more profound. Post-wedding, the viral wave brought unexpected alliances. A high school acquaintance reached out, sharing her own story of family neglect and how my words gave her courage to pursue art despite pressure to go corporate. We met for coffee, and it sparked a support group for others in similar situations. Professionally, the attention led to a collaboration with an international team on Arctic ice melt impacts on marine life. I traveled to Norway for a month, diving in frigid waters, collecting samples that could influence global policies. Lime joined for part of it, turning it into a mini honeymoon extension. We faced challenges like equipment failures in sub-zero temps, but solving them together reinforced our partnership. Back home, Vanessa's transformation included joining me on a local cleanup event. At first awkward, but as we picked debris from the shore, she opened up about her regrets. I never realized how fulfilling this feels, she admitted, holding a tangled net. It's not about applause, it's about impact. That day marked a turning point in our sibling bond. Dad's efforts extended to visiting the lab. He toured my workspace, asked about equipment, even tried peering through a microscope at plankton samples. It was clumsy but sincere. We shared lunch, where he admitted reading up on basic marine terms to follow our conversations better. It's fascinating, he said. I wish I'd paid attention sooner. Mom, however, doubled down. She started a blog ranting about media manipulation, but it only drew more backlash. Eventually, she went private, retreating further. I felt pity, but no guilt. Her choices, her isolation. As years passed, our family, Liam's and mine, grew. We welcomed a daughter, naming her after the sea, teaching her about tides and ecosystems. Watching her eyes light up at her first beach discovery healed old wounds. She had grandparents in Scotland who spoiled her with stories, and a grandfather here learning to show up. Vanessa became the fun aunt, organizing eco-adventures. Life wasn't perfect. Research funding battles persisted, climate crisis loomed, but it was ours, built on authenticity. Reflecting on that initial phone message, I saw how far I'd come, from invisible to illuminated, not for revenge, but for truth. And in that truth, I found freedom. This script is fully original and does not reproduce the source text word for word. I stood on the deck of our modest home overlooking the Atlantic, the salty breeze tangling my hair as I sipped coffee and watched the horizon. It was a year after my daughter, Marina, was born, and life had settled into a rhythm that felt both exhilarating and grounding. The sun was just rising, casting a soft pink glow over the waves, and I could hear Liam inside, humming a Scottish tune while preparing breakfast for Marina. Her giggles floated through the open window, a sound that never failed to loosen the last remnants of old scars. My phone sat on the railing, silent for once. No barrage of notifications from viral fame. Just a quiet morning. But my thoughts drifted back to the journey that brought me here, to moments I hadn't shared with anyone, not even Liam, because they felt too raw, too small to matter until now. When I was 12, I found a book on marine life at a used bookstore during a family trip to Cape Cod. It was tattered, with dog-eared pages and notes scribbled in the margins by some previous owner. I spent the entire vacation holed up in our rental cottage, reading about bioluminescent plankton and deep-sea creatures. One night, I tried showing Olivia a passage about glowing algae. "Look, it's like the ocean has its own stars!" I said, my voice brimming with excitement. She glanced at it, shrugged, and said, "That's weird, Em. Why do you care about slimy stuff?" Mom overheard and laughed, calling it my little obsession. Dad didn't even look up from his golf magazine. That book became my secret companion, hidden under my pillow, a reminder that there was a world bigger than their expectations. I still have it tucked away on a shelf in my office, a quiet testament to the girl who found solace in the sea. Those childhood slights piled up, each one a pebble in a growing pile. By high school, I'd learned to keep my passions private. I joined the science club, but never told my family about the experiments we ran or the late nights spent analyzing data. When I won a regional award for a project on coastal erosion, I didn't even bother inviting them to the ceremony. I knew they'd be at Olivia's debate team finals, cheering her on as she charmed the judges. Instead, my biology teacher, Mrs. Carter, drove me to the event and clapped louder than anyone when my name was called. She gave me a hug afterward and said, "Emily, you're going to do big things. Don't let anyone dim your light." Her words stuck with me, a lifeline when I felt like I was drowning in my family's indifference. College was where I started to breathe. I chose a marine biology program far from home, in a small coastal town where the air always smelled of salt. My first semester, I joined a research group studying Worcester Reef restoration. We spent weekends wading through marshes, planting seedlings, and monitoring water quality. One day, as we hauled equipment back to the lab, my teammate Rachel noticed me scribbling notes furiously. "You're like a sponge," she said, laughing. "You soak up everything about this stuff." It was the first time I felt seen, not as a disappointment or a shadow, but as someone with purpose. Rachel became a close friend, and she was one of the first people I invited to the wedding. She flew in from California, bringing a tiny oyster shell pendant as a gift, engraved with the date of our first research trip together. It's still on my nightstand, a reminder of the community that became my anchor. Planning the wedding had been a whirlwind of intention. Beyond the marine artifacts exhibit, Liam and I decided to incorporate a ritual inspired by my work. We asked each guest to bring a small token representing their connection to the ocean. A shell, a pebble, a sketch of a sea creature. During the reception, we created a communal mosaic with these items, a vibrant patchwork symbolizing our shared commitment to the planet. Dr. Hayes contributed a vial of sand from a beach she'd helped restore in the Caribbean, and Professor Klein added a fossilized coral fragment from his early fieldwork. The documentary crew filmed the process, capturing the stories behind each piece. One young researcher, a grad student named Tara, shared how my kelp forest paper inspired her thesis. "Your work made me feel like I could make a difference," she said, her voice cracking. I hugged her, blinking back tears, realizing that my impact extended beyond data to people. The days leading up to the wedding had their own quiet moments of transformation. One evening, Liam and I took a break from planning to kayak along the Cape Cod shore. The water was glassy, reflecting the fading light, and we paddled in silence for a while, just listening to the rhythm of our strokes. Out of nowhere, Liam said, "You know, when I first met you, I thought you were brilliant but guarded, like you were waiting for permission to shine." I stopped paddling, letting the kayak drift. He continued, "But watching you now, planning this, standing up to your family, you're not waiting anymore. You're just you." I leaned over and kissed him, the kayak wobbling slightly, and we laughed as we nearly tipped. That moment out on the water felt like a vow before the vows, a promise to ourselves to live unapologetically. The documentary's aftermath brought more than just professional opportunities. It sparked conversations I never expected. At a conference in Iceland, a fellow scientist approached me after my presentation on kelp restoration. Her name was Dr. Ingrid Larsen, a Norwegian researcher whose work on Arctic ecosystems I'd admired for years. Over coffee, she shared her own story of growing up with parents who dismissed her ambitions, pushing her toward a safer career in medicine. Your documentary hit home, she said. It's not just about science, it's about claiming your space in a world that tries to make you smaller. We talked for hours, and she invited me to join a collaborative project on polar marine habitats. That trip to Norway, diving through icy waters with Liam by my side, became one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences of my career. We faced equipment malfunctions and brutal weather, but each obstacle we overcame together felt like proof of our partnership's strength. Back home, Vanessa's journey continued to surprise me. After the beach cleanup, she started volunteering regularly with the nonprofit. One afternoon, she called me, excited about a campaign she'd designed to raise awareness about plastic pollution. I used your data on microplastics in kelp forests, she said, almost shyly. I hope that's okay. I was floored. Not just that she'd read my work, but that she'd applied it with such care. We met up to review the campaign, and for the first time, I saw her as a collaborator, not a rival. She admitted she'd always envied my clarity of purpose, even when our parents framed it as a flaw. I envied you too, I confessed. The way they adored you. It looked so easy. She shook her head. It wasn't easy. It was suffocating. That honesty, raw and unguarded, built a bridge we'd never had before. We started meeting monthly, sometimes working on projects, sometimes just talking over coffee about life beyond our parents' expectations. Dad's efforts grew steadier. He began attending public lectures at the lab, sitting in the back with a notebook, jotting down terms he didn't understand to ask me about later. One day, he showed up with a copy of a beginner's guide to marine biology, pages marked with sticky notes. I'm trying to get it, he said, a little embarrassed. It's a lot, but it's fascinating. We started small traditions, like Sunday walks along the harbor, where he'd ask about my latest projects or share memories of his own childhood before he got caught up in the corporate grind. He never pushed for more than I was ready to give, and I appreciated that. It wasn't a full reconciliation. Too much history lingered. But it was a start, fragile and real. Mom, however, remained a closed door. She launched a podcast of all things, claiming it was about family truths, but it was mostly her venting about being misunderstood. Listeners called it out as self-serving, and it fizzled after a few episodes. Vanessa tried to reason with her, but Mom clung to her narrative of victimhood. I saw her once by chance at a grocery store. She looked tired, her usual polish faded. Emily, she said, voice tight, we could still fix this. You could tell people we've worked things out. I shook my head. There is nothing to fix until you're honest with yourself. She walked away, and I felt a pang, not of guilt, but of sadness for someone too stubborn to grow. Marina's arrival changed everything again. Holding her for the first time, I vowed she'd never feel invisible. We took her to the beach early, letting her toddle in the shallows, laughing as she chased tiny crabs. Liam's parents visited often, teaching her Scottish lullabies, while Dad sent her picture books about fish. Carefully chosen, Vanessa organized a baby beach day, complete with eco-friendly toys and a tiny wetsuit for Marina. Watching my daughter grow surrounded by love that didn't demand perfection healed parts of me I hadn't realized were still broken. Professionally, the documentary's ripple effects continued. My TED Talk, titled Finding Family in the Fight for Our Oceans, went viral, sparking invitations to speak globally. I wrote a book, blending memoir with science, about building a life of purpose despite rejection. It became a resource for students and young professionals, with teachers using it in classrooms. The research center secured a multi-year grant, allowing us to expand our kelp restoration project to new regions. I mentored young scientists like Tara, who'd spoken at the wedding, helping them navigate their own paths. One evening, as Marina napped and Liam cooked dinner, I sat at my desk reviewing data from our latest expedition. My old science fair trophy sat nearby, a quiet reminder of the girl who never stopped reaching for the sea. I opened my laptop and found an email from a high school student in Maine who'd seen the documentary and wanted advice on pursuing marine biology despite her parents' doubts. Your story made me believe I can do this, she wrote. I smiled, typing a response, sharing the same advice Mrs. Carter gave me years ago. Don't let anyone dim your light. Looking out at the ocean, I thought about the currents that had carried me here. Not just the literal ones I studied, but the emotional ones. The pain of being unseen, the courage to build my own family, the joy of living authentically. My parents' rejection had been a storm, but I'd navigated it, finding calm waters on the other side. And as I heard Marina's laughter from the kitchen, mingling with Liam's off-key humming, I knew I'd built a harbor strong enough to weather anything. This script is fully original and does not reproduce the source text word for word.